Hi everyone, welcome to Cars and Drives. Today we'll be talking about an interesting topic, which is buying a used car in Germany. Not this one, an actual car in Germany as a foreigner. So in the past, many of my friends have asked me what are the steps, what are the important steps that one needs to follow while buying a car in Germany. And they themselves have suggested that maybe it's a good idea to make a video about it. So I thought, yeah, it makes sense. I can make a video, then if in future somebody asks these steps, I can just refer them to this video. So today we'll be discussing about the main steps according to me that you have to follow while buying a used car in Germany. Disclaimer before I start this video, I'm not an expert in this field, and the steps that I'll be mentioning will be purely based on the experiences that I've had in Germany. So without further delay, let's get right into the topic. So point number one. Point number one is obviously to find the right car that suits you. Here I cannot really give you any advices which car really suits you. This really depends on your budget, your use, your passion to the car, your preference, brand preferences, something like that. So this is completely up to you. But I will definitely say buying a used car it makes much more sense than buying a new car, especially in Germany, because the cars are relatively in very good condition in Germany. So even if you buy a used cars, you can actually expect it to be relatively fit. But there's always some dangers associated with used car purchases. You can be tricked, but I would generally advise buy a used car which is less than 5 years old. You can even buy cars which are 1 year old called Jahreswagen. So these are really good deals. You get the cars at a very fair price, and the cars will be relatively new. So Jahreswagen is one option, but definitely do not buy a car which is older than 5 years. This is my opinion. Always go for a car which is less than 5 years old. And since you're buying a used car, the initial depreciation of the car is already paid by the first owner. So you don't have to bear this cost of the initial depreciation, which is huge for most of the cars. So that's my advice. That's point number one. Always go for a used car. Point number two. Point number two is to find out from where to buy this car. This is actually a complicated topic. If you know somebody who sells a car which you really like and you know him personally, then I would advise go for it. But generally, it's advisable to buy a car from a dealer, a used car dealer. Most of the times, if you walk around the city, you can find multiple car dealers who sells used cars. So that's what I went for. I went to a used car dealer who is not really the authorized used car dealer from a brand or something like that. They had all the brands in their lot. So I went to this used car dealer and I bought my car. Why I always suggest a used car dealer is because you get a lot of benefits. First of all, the financing aspect will be taken care completely by the dealer themselves. You don't have to do anything for this financing part of the deal. Secondly, most of the times the dealers will provide you some kind of warranty. You can even buy used car warranty from dealers. For example, in most of the cases, you'll get a warranty for at least 1 year if you argue with the dealer, of course. But yeah, that's one advantage. Plus, if you have some issue after buying the car, you can always go back to the dealer and talk to them. Maybe they'll sort out this problem for you. But if you're buying from a private seller, then you have no right to go back to them if you have some issues with the car once you have purchased it. So definitely my advice is go to a dealer and get the car from a dealer, because especially the financing part, you don't have to go to the bank at all. They will call the bank, they'll arrange the financing, they'll do everything. So that's my tip. Always buy from a used car dealer. Another point for finding out these used cars is obviously you can use online websites like mobile.de, or some people call mobile.de. You can actually go there and look for cars. They obviously have all the cars listed, even from private sellers and also from these authorized and unauthorized dealers who will be selling these cars. So you can obviously go to this website, then find out your car of choice. After that, you can just call the dealer, get an appointment, go there, and then proceed with the next steps. Okay, now starts the actual process. Once you've decided which car to buy and you've got an appointment from the dealer for a visit and for a test drive, my first step that you have to follow is that you have to take the car for a test drive. You cannot just have a look around and believe everything the dealer or the seller is going to say. You have to take the car for a test drive. And for test driving in Germany, you have to enter your name and details in a logbook, which is present at the dealer. This is mandatory because your vehicle will not be having the official number plate. They'll have this red number plate which shows that this car is only temporarily registered and it's not allowed to take this car beyond a certain circle actually. So in order for your insurance to be active during this test drive, you have to have your name entered in the logbook. Make sure you do that. Also, take a person from the dealership with you during the test drive. They'll always say, okay, you can take the car, you don't have to have somebody from the dealership with you. But it's always advisable to take a person with you so that once you come back from the test drive and they find out a new scratch, there's always one person inside the car from the dealership who was there with you all the time, and they or he can say that, okay, this scratch was already there, or this scratch was at least not caused during the test drive. So I would advise always take a person from the dealership with you. Then do a thorough test drive. This is inexcusable. You cannot go without having a test drive. Go do a test drive. So another point regarding financing your car, I would say it's really advisable to buy a car with your own money and not take a financing. But if you get a financing deal, for example, with an interest rate of less than 3%, then your cash can actually be used for something else, like you can invest it in an ETF or something like that and actually make more than 3% annually from that. In that case, you can actually go for a financing, but obviously if the interest rate is above 4.5% or 5%, then I would say go with your own cash and buy the car with your own cash and do not take a loan. This is just my finance tip, which I thought would make sense in between. Okay, so now comes step number 4. Step number 4 comes after you have actually taken the car for a test drive. And after the test drive, you found out that, okay, there are no major issues with the car. It runs good, the suspension is good, brake is good, you don't find any damages to the body, and you think it's a good deal. Then you go to the step number 4. During step number 4, you discuss the details with the dealer. What you really need to take into account is you need to make sure that the HU of the car, which is the Hauptuntersuchung or TÜV, as called by many of my colleagues, you need to have a TÜV which is valid at least for 6 months. That's the health certificate for the car. So once you run out of this TÜV period, which is usually for 2 years, you have to renew it, and it will cost you around 200 to 400 euros depending upon certain parameters. So I would say discuss this with your dealer. Make sure that he gives you a new TÜV, or he gives you a new certificate which is valid for 2 years, so that you don't have to care about this for at least 2 years. This is one step that you can discuss with the dealers, and most of the times they'll just agree and do it new for you. This is one step. Secondly, you can ask for a price reduction, but from my experience and the experiences of my friends, I don't think this is really possible in Germany. You can try, but obviously you will not get a lot of discount like you're used to in maybe in your country. So what you can ask for is a set of winter tires, because in Germany you need winter and summer tires, and depending upon the situation, the car will be, depending upon the season, the car will be either on summer tires or on winter tires. So you can ask for the other set of tires for free. Most of the times you'll get it. I got it for free. Plus you can actually ask for a complete, a full tank of petrol or diesel once you take the car for delivery. So this is also something that you can ask, and most probably you will get this as well. But handling and then negotiating the price, that was not really successful for me. I tried, but it was not helpful for me. So I got winter tires and a full tank of petrol, which was a good deal for me, so I took it. That's one step. Also get the TÜV done for 2 years, so that you don't have to worry about it for 2 years. Step number 5 is arranging your finance if you're not buying with your own money. Since you're at a dealer, they will actually call a bank. They'll do the checks, your credibility checks, your credit score checks and all for you, and then they'll give you financing. This is not really a complicated step. The dealer usually takes care of it almost all the time if your credit score is good. Otherwise, you have to come up with other methods to finance your car. So this is step number 5, arrange your finances. And if you are at the dealer already, I would hope that you have enough money with you, or at least your credit score is good to get a loan. Step number 6. Once you have decided everything, you have to sign a contract with the dealer. They will fill out all this paperwork and then provide it to you. You can actually cross-check all these things, the car details, the VIN number of the car. There are certain other identification numbers for the car, check everything is correct, check the price is correct, then you just have to sign the contract. This is actually a very simple step. You don't have to actually read everything, but it's recommended to read all these things thoroughly before you sign this contract with the dealer. Then you can actually buy extra things like a warranty for 2 years at an extra cost or something like that. This is entirely up to you, but this also comes under this step. So the next step for you is to get an insurance for your car, because before you actually drive your car out of the dealer lot, you need to have a valid insurance for your car. So in order to do that, I would definitely recommend going to a comparison portal like Check24 or something like that. Then you have to enter a lot of details so that the insurance company can get a profile of you. And these details might include your age, are you married or not, where are you living, for what purpose are you buying this car, is it a commercial purpose or it's just for your private use, do you have a closed garage or are you parking this car on the streets, do you have other cars in your possession or something like that. So they'll ask you a lot of questions so that they'll get a profile of you. They'll also ask you how many kilometers are you planning to drive this car. So this is just an estimation which you can provide, and based on this they'll give you a quote. So in order to get a complete quote, you need HSN and TSN number of your car. So HSN is Herstellerschlüsselnummer und TSN is Typschlüsselnummer. Once you have provided this information, the insurance company will get all the details of your car, like the make of the car, which engine do you have, how many horsepower do you have. These kind of things will be automatically updated in the portal. So you need this information, which you can find from the Tile 1, Tile 2 paper of the car from the previous owner, which the dealer will obviously provide to you once you have signed the contract. So once you have decided which insurance company do you want this insurance from, you can actually click buy and you will get this insurance, and within some time you will get an email or an SMS with EVB number. EVB stands for Elektronische Versicherungsbestätigungsnummer. So EVB is like electronic insurance confirmation number. You need this number for your registration. So once you get this, your insurance step for taking an insurance is actually completed. Next step is actually going to your Zulassungsstelle or Fahrzeugstelle, which is the vehicle registration authority, your local vehicle registration authority. You can just find the details by just Googling with your city name, and then you'll find where you have to go. You can even buy preferred number online. For example, if you want to have a number like 1234, then you can have a look at the online portal of this office and see if this number is available. Then you can actually register for this number online and they'll allocate this number for you. And you have to take an appointment. It's called Termin in German. So you have to take an appointment, and on this day of your appointment, you have to go to this office and you have to carry this Tile 1, Tile 2 paper of the previous owner. You have to carry an ID. You have to carry this TÜV certificate which the dealer just gave you, the new one. Hopefully, if you got this new one, then you need to carry this insurance number, the EVB number, which you just got via email or SMS. And if you have booked for a number online, then you have to take this confirmation that you've got as well with you. So if you've already registered for a number, then you can actually go to a shop and get this number printed on your number plate. This is completely possible. Or if you have not booked for a number, then you will get a number from this authority, and after that you can go to the shop later and then get this printed. So I would actually recommend registering for a number and get it allocated for you, so that you get a number you want, plus it costs like 12 to 15 euros depending upon the city you're living in. So this is actually not really expensive, and you will get a number which you really like. So once you're at this registration office and you've provided all these details, then the person will ask you to sign a SEPA Lastschrift Mandat. This is needed for your bank so that the government can deduct the tax amount on a yearly basis from your bank account. You need to sign that, and also you need to sign one or two places confirming that you have actually bought this car. And after that, you have to pay for the registration. You have to pay for a fine stock plug card if you need it. This is this green circle with the number 4 on it, which is needed if you're planning to drive this car into a big city, because most of the big cities allow you to drive the car inside the city only if you have this green sticker which shows that your car is conforming to the emission norms and all. So you need to get the sticker. It costs like 5 euros. So get the sticker. So you have to pay for that. Plus you have to pay for the fancy number which you have just bought your car, so you have to pay all these things, and then they will give you new tile 1 and tile 2 papers saying that this car now belongs to you. So check for your name, check for the address, check for the vehicle details in this paper, and then you can actually take this tile 1 tile 2 paper with you. One more thing that you have to do is, once you have this number plate with you, this registration authority will just stick a sticker to the rear number plate showing the city to which this car is currently registered to, plus the date at which, or the month at which, the next health inspection is due. So if you've got a new TÜV certificate, then this date will show 2 years into the future. So depending upon your TÜV, this sticker will have a month mentioning when do you need to do the health inspection again. This Tile 1 and Tile 2 certificate which you have just received from this registration authority, these are really important. You have to always keep this Tile 1 certificate in your car. And if you have taken a loan for this car, then the Tile 2 certificate will be taken by the bank. If you have paid for the car with your own money, then you get this Tile 2 certificate as well, and you have to keep it at your home and not in your car. This is an important point. So now you have received all the papers that you've needed to collect your car. You can take all these papers, the Tile 1, Tile 2 paper, the sticker, the fine stop placard or the number with 4 on it, and the number plates with the new stickers on it. You can take all these things together and then go to your dealer. Then if the dealer is nice enough, he'll fit this number plate for you, plus he'll paste this fine stop placard to your front windshield. So you can have another look around the car, see if everything is okay, and then drive the car out of the lot. The car now belongs to you. So these are the steps that you need to follow while buying a used car in Germany. So now the car belongs to you. I wish you a lot of happy kilometers with the new car which you've just bought. Thank you for watching.